Here we go, start broadcast. So now we're broadcasting IMC Base One Instagram, Bible of Arash TikTok, AZD _ IMC TikTok, Stoic Temple YouTube. Of course, we're on Zoom here, also streaming to the Facebook groups and my personal Facebook page. And I think Cruz is going to be sharing one of those in the Telegram group, the General IMC Telegram group. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's see here. Manage videos. What's up? What's up, people? As you're joining, Mo, I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, streaming to you from IMC Base One here. Oh, what happened? What happened here? Oh, I didn't change the title over here. Okay, let me stream settings. No. Oh, I gotta. Okay, let's change this here. This is actually DHV Your Life from IMC Base One. And then we're going to put some hashtags there. We're going to tag pickup. We're going to tag communication. And we're going to tag romance. Nice. Oh, you can hear me typing on that. Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, people on TikTok and everywhere in the world. These stats. Okay, everything's working. At any time, also, if you could check the IMC Base One with the #1 Instagram, because it's live there, and I want to see what it looks like there. You can send me a screenshot, actually, because all my devices are in use right now. I can't look at it. Okay, what's up, everybody? Let's click record here. Hey, everybody. We're streaming to lots of different platforms, getting the word out from IMC Base One. That's where I live. I'm Yogi Chris, PhD, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, and captain, one of 3 captains of IMC Nation, the first captain of IMC Nation. Directly under the founder. I live with the founder, AZD, founder of IMC Nation. And so these are my TikTok accounts, my YouTube account, whatever, promoting IMC, because I've made it my life. Because what happened was I was very frustrated with women. I was in Italy at the time studying some stuff, and I had an Italian girlfriend, older than me at the time. She's still older, but at the time I had an older girlfriend. And, practicing a lot of yoga and this and that. And I found a lot of frustration approaching new women. And because it was a tenuous relationship with that girl, towards the end of my visit, it became more serious. But in the middle of it, I was still, at the time, I was a monogamous guy. So I was still approaching other women because I wasn't really with her. I was like courting her. Amazing, actually, because I see now, I've never realized this before. I was actually a player back then. I was trying to have multiple women, but since I wasn't committed to that one girl, I felt I could like play the field or whatever. Now I would just play the field because I'm honest about everything. And I mean, to a degree, I'm honest, and it's an advanced calibration that you guys would understand. So, found myself first. I started looking up YouTube videos or whatever about pickup, getting chicks, and one thing led to another. Long story short, I ended up studying with Style or his program. Got somewhere with it. Circled back around to AZD, found AZD stuff. And one of the things that was so powerful about AZD's stuff, at the time, he was just AD, because the PAR didn't come in. So it was just AD, not AZD for AZD TikTokers. If you guys got questions or comments or whatever, like, comment. So I see that. Smash the like also, like it. Like the video here. I'll show you how. So in AZD's stories at the time, when I'm listening to these lectures over and over, it was so many analogies drawn from real life, like whereas the other pickup coaches, especially the masters, Mystery and Style and whatever, who were great at picking up women, like from their book, from their stories, from watching what they're demonstrating on YouTube at the time, and just the clout and the reputation they had, they were clearly very successful with women, the most beautiful women at club type women, so very beautiful women physically. But they had all these gambits and like secrets and stuff that they would teach, like how the opener, and it all made sense, how to DHV to demonstrate higher value than her. So she looks up to you in a way, complies to you. And, It solicits interest from her. She gets more attracted to you as she sees you higher value in the things that she perceives are valuable to her. And there are some things that are generally valuable to all women, except mutants, but 99% of women. And then they have their peculiarities too. But in the general, there are definitely principles of attraction that all women, almost all women, especially women of beauty, who are sought after by men, and that they find valuable. So the pickup artists like Style and Mystery have these packaged in pre-rehearsed routines, things they've stumbled upon in casual conversation or when they're out, and they note, oh, that was a really good, really valuable soundbite or story or routine, something I do with my body, or that the women seem to be attracted to, and they repeat it. It works again. Oh, that's a gambit. We need to package that. And then finding the best gambits and making a routine and memorizing it so that they can move as fast as possible through a courtship, meeting a stranger, a high value stranger in some way, they're good looking, and taking her through the courtship process to sex. And they became masters of that. But it was all these prepackaged stories. It was so many of those. And I get that they have to give examples, but it was like, man, I wonder what you're like in between all of those gambits. And of course, they become refined individuals after years and years of pickup in high value venues around the world and this and that. But what I saw with AZD was that his examples and stories and analogies and things, they were so organic. They were so not repeated. Like he had so many new ones. It seemed like he would just keep creating, instead of like the guy who works forever on the perfect song. He just creates a new song. Let's say someone else steals the rights to his song. He just creates another one because he's a genius. He just creates another one. And you think you have a lock on the guy or by taking his best music, but you don't, because it keeps creating. And so I saw the sincere, organic nature of AZD's teachings, that he was teaching these DHV principles, these neg principles. These are, principles of the game, like to demonstrate value. So she was looking up to you. To neg, so that you disqualify yourself as being perceived as hitting on her. Then giving her compliance tests and moving her so that you gauge her comfort with what she's willing to follow you, because the courtship is going to be man lead, woman follow. And then if she doesn't, what to do? If she IODs, indicates disinterest. And then here at the quantum level, AZD teaches like so much perceiving when the woman is indicating interest, that his game becomes nearly flawless, if not flawless. Like in Mortal Kombat, you have flawless victory. Like that's AZD's game, although it may not be as fast as you'd like. When it happens super fast, because so many pieces have been put in place. It's almost like solving a Rubik's Cube, and you think you solve it, like you'll see the progression of how it is solved. Like you'll start seeing pieces start aligning and you'll be like, oh, it's about to happen. But it's almost like arranging all of it so that you just have one turn left and it's solved. I know that's not the perfect analogy, but it's almost like the dominoes. You set up all the dominoes and nothing's happening, and it takes you forever to set it up. But when you're ready, it takes the minimal effort to flick them all over, and it's a beautiful orchestra. And that's like AZD seduction, where it's a lot of pieces put in place so that when something happens, whoo, the woman is swept off her feet kind of thing before she even knows it. She doesn't realize she's fallen in love because of all of the intimacies exchanged and the tonalities and the touch that goes with it. And it's all casual. It's all in social environment. It's nothing, smutty or, just wrong that someone will feel violated. So there's no violation, but it's moving forward. Because at the ultimate end of like man going forward as fast as possible, he's just like grabbing her and taking her and doing what he wants with her. That's obviously not acceptable. And at the ultimate end of never violating the person, so there's never a problem in the venue, would be being the nice guy. So you're so nice, you never move forward with anything. So the perfect balance between nice and escalating forward, stepping it forward in the courtship. The ultimate balance. Everybody has some balance, but the ultimate balance that gets the highest quality and gets them for the longest term in a way that doesn't destabilize your life, so that you can have multiple. Because if your life gets destabilized with a new girl, how are you going to hold on to the old girl? Maybe you're not holding on because you're not needy, but at some point, if you're so unstable that the girl naturally leaves you, even though you have all that value that she originally came to you for, Well, that's just an instability that's going to reflect itself in other areas of life. That a consistency in your character that keeps the first and second girl around while the third girl comes around and the fourth girl comes around. And yes, girls leave, so you can't use the women just as a measure of your life, but it is a measure of something, definitely. And it's, I could keep going on that, but the DHV. So I realized that the demonstrating higher value, such an important aspect of the game, because you'll never really, everything that comes after it, you never really qualify the girl that well if you haven't DHV that well. Because if you don't DHV that well, then you're not qualifying a very high quality woman. Because very high quality woman, you'll never get to qualification with her unless you properly demonstrate higher value. You could get a lower quality woman because lower value woman has a lower standard for a demonstration of higher value. She's lower value, so it'll take less to impress her. The higher value she is, the more it takes to impress her, the better your DHV has to be. So, but in any courtship, you will never get to qualification unless you've demonstrated value. And most people are going to be unconscious about their DHVs, and so they're going to unconsciously get whatever quality women they unconsciously are programmed to get. As you refine it and get better, then just realizing that, maybe the neg and DHV go together, but qualifying and IODs, and there's a lot of, and of course, comfort building and anything in seduction, like all of that comes after demonstrating value. So super important aspect. So I see AZD, or I'm hearing AZD 8 or 9 years ago when I'm first listening to him, and his DHVs are so, it's like incidental. They happen. It's not so much a pre-rehearsed gambit. It was there, and that was 8 or 9 years ago. It was there, and what he was saying, how he was explaining it, he would explain some of his gambits, and then you would just hear, like I said, you're hearing all these new gambits every lecture series. It's like, man, does he have all this canned material, or is he just, he's packaging his life as a DHV gambit? Just like the original pickup artist stumbled across stories that were very attractive to women in their casual conversation or in working with their material, they would occasionally invent and innovate and make a new gambit kind of thing. Or, shooting the shit with their friends, guy friends talking about game, they come across, oh, that's a good gambit. You should say that. You should remember that. AZD just seemed to, moving forward in time, keep packaging his life in these stories that were very high value. And so in that way, it became obvious that AZD had integrated his life so that the pickup, the DHVs, the negs, the qualifying, the comfort building, the seduction was happening continuously day to day. He was so in it that that's what his life was. Now, some other guys in the world may have gotten to that level, but then they crash. They're in it, but they can't hold it together. Just like the first girl leaves when the second girl comes around, because you become unstable. The girl isn't programmed to leave once she's committed herself to you. But you start wavering and she floats off into space. Okay, I don't know. Is this over the head? Are you guys getting this? Does it make sense? Azay's doing his work, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, okay.
Yeah. Faux show. Okay. So we also have Chris Cruz here as a resident, right? Here to finish Guardian training base 6. Yeah. Base 6 has Chris Cruz and Tattoo Addicts, Armando, Big Zothes, 400-pound behemoth. And what do you see as, so you're going back as Guardian, so you'll be leaving the base. And have you thought about, or has it come to you while you've been living here at base 1 for the last couple of days, any changes that are going to happen when you go back?
Yeah, I can think about personal changes within myself.
Yeah, I'm sure they just kind of come to you as just like an image, like, oh, it's going to be different when I get back somehow, whatever it is, outside, inside.
Yeah, I'm thinking mainly staying really busy, man. That's
Staying busy.
Staying busy doing something to like not have free time.
Is that a change?
Yeah.
You've had free time at base 6?
Well, not free time, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna relax and watch like a movie or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, why is that changing?
Because I'm thinking, man, like at that time I should have used to like do something.
Yeah.
That's what I see you doing like right now, for example. Right?
Yeah.
Life. So I'm like, man, I gotta just produce, create.
And tell me more about that. Why not just relax sometimes, dude? You don't always have to be on go mode.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I've relaxed more than created for sure. That's why I think.
I see. I'm playing the devil's advocate. I don't actually believe you should relax sometimes like that, like the way I just said it. You know, I was just being the other side. So it's funny. It's interesting how you had an agreement with that. You were like, yeah, I know, you're right, bro. It's not. I mean, but I'm just playing the devil's advocate, like how a hater or a girlfriend or even your family would say, like, you don't always have to be on go mode, Christopher.
Right.
You can be, you know, you should relax sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm thinking like, I mean, if it's for like the higher purpose of building something, then I mean, why relax, right? Or like, or I mean, it's gonna
Because you're gonna stress yourself out.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like it's gonna have anything.
Bro, I'm talking to you like a mother would. You don't have to agree with me. I am like I am purposefully. That's so interesting that you're having agreement with it, because I am taunting you as if I were just a super beta male, or like I said, like I just said a second ago, like if I was an instigator or a hater or something. This is what guys would have people say to them that would suppress them. That they would. You can't fall into agreement with that cheap, weak ass bullshit of you're gonna fucking, you need to rest, you're gonna stress yourself out. What the fuck do you mean? You're now, it's different if you're talking to grandma or some other guy. What do you mean I'm going to stress out? I'm a man. Why are you telling me to slow my roll? Nah, I'm not gonna be weak and all retired and like fucking just looking for the next paycheck so I can go on vacation and I can eat sloppy and be fat and unhappy and low energy. And that's not the life I'm going for. Like, I'm going for it. So don't try to slow me down. If you know, come on. Why? Because you guys want to hang out and smoke a doobie or record a song or fucking go jerk off at the strip club or something. Like, dude, there's a time for that. And right now is the time to produce, because that's when the audience is listening. That's when the people are there. That's when I have the energy to do it. Because, man, like for me, I had a little bit of money when I found AZD. So I spent it training with AZD because that's what I wanted. In that, I saw that this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm going. This is the kind of presence, the mastery of social dynamics, the relationships, the quality, the quantity, the everything. This is, I mean, is there a better example? I couldn't find one. And I was like, and this is available for a finite amount of money. Like, it's not infinite. It's just like, it's some money. And I'd spent everything I had, but I was like, I can't just stop training. I gotta work so I can train more. Cause I mean, what else am I going to do with my money? What am I doing with my life? And, and nobody could stop me because so I was always motivated to work. So anything that distracts me from getting this stuff, like, explain to me why that's worth it again. Why should I do that? I mean, I get it that you don't get it. You don't have to get it. But like, I don't know what a person could entice me with. Anybody on earth. Kingpin, powerhouse, tattoo addicts, Brian Casella, a fine female. What are you going to entice me with that's going to get me to... I mean, I could see how a fine female, but that's a practicing of this art. Right. And then so how long are you going to hang out with her for? That's part of the science. So it's like, but then what does Kingpin have to offer me? Just as an example, it's not that I'm not downing them. I'm just saying the most high value people in my life, could they really offer me something to just chill and relax and like not produce? Right. What are you going to offer me? I wonder what you could offer me. A car? Some money? Okay, if you're going to pay me, I'll train you. And then of course I'll give a portion to the guy that why you're here. And like, but then I don't think that's not me relaxing. It's me teaching. So what exactly is going to get me to relax and chill? Family. That's why I haven't visited my family. I've like twice in the last 3 years in Texas. That's how much I see my mom and dad. Grandma was twice, sister 0. And except grandpa's funeral, that was 3 years ago. A little over 3 years ago. So, and I would like to, and I, look for windows when they're there to take a quick flight, work on the flight, sleep in a tent, have dinner with them, have breakfast with them, take a flight back. Just what it is, man, because I'm on a schedule. I'm not going to fucking fuck around, and at the same time, I want to improve those. So there's a balance, but the balance is not relaxing sometimes in the middle of shooting the shit. The balance is way far extreme to the discipline and then a little bit off, a little bit relaxed from just so disciplined that you're rigid, brittle, breakable. Like, you got to be able to take a bite of a Reese's cup. It's not going to kill you. But man, the thing is that most people are not able to just do that and be disciplined everything else. You actually, the balance is in super extreme and then a little bit relaxed. The balance is not half extreme, half relaxed. That's way actually far left. That's sheep. That's a herd animal. That's you're counting on someone else to do it for you so you don't have to, kind of thing, because you're used to that and everyone around you is okay with mediocre. And so you become okay with me. You'll fall into agreement with the people you're around. That's why the base is so important. But then that's why people got to be on advanced camps and continuing with the process. You know, and we see the more bases there are, and you'll see on officer meeting, the more you'll see the distinction between bases. That base 5 is not up to par with base 3. Base 3, base 4, they're not the same. Base 7 now opening, there's a new life. Base 6 is not up to par with base 2. It's not the same kind of base. Base 2 has a base leader, a guardian, a guardian, a guardian. And then now one new guy came in who probably won't make it, but he's on the morning class, but he's not doing advanced camps yet. But he lives locally. And, you know, I'll be pushing for Tyler Powell to live there, who's going to move in like from Canada in a month or 2.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it's going to be great. Yeah. You know, that's the plan. That's how it's looking. So maybe 3 months. I think it was March 1st, he said. And so that's 2 months. So where is base 6 in that? As we have 30 bases, you'll see what bases, what does it look like to have your shit together as a base and growing in this evolution where we're seeing the evidence, the women, the camaraderie, the production. We know what that base is about. They're out of the shadows, they're in the light. And, you know, so it's tough to be the leader because you've got to be the bad guy sometimes. That's why the leader needs an assistant that can be the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. AZD's the good guy. You know.
Yeah.
Because cool. If it was just AZD, then he'd have to be the good and bad guy. That's why, you know, when it comes to sales, I'm the good guy. Mm-hmm. And Officer Jeremiah is the bad guy. He collects the debts. Because if I got to collect the debts too, I'm not going to make any sales to those people. You know what I mean? So there's a good guy and a bad guy. So, you know, I say take out the garbage. AZD doesn't say take out the garbage. You know. So, you know, having somebody, you'll see, maybe it's Armando or whoever is most aligned with your leadership becomes your assistant and the person that you suggest or recommend for guardian training. Because as soon as you have 2 guardians, like Jordan Damari's probably living it up with Aaron Luna now back, and probably a new Aaron Luna. And the thing is, Aaron Luna's maybe looking to go to base 3, so base 5 might be disintegrating. We'll see. But right now, it's doing good. Josiah is coming in a week or 2 to start his guardian training. When he returns in about 3 or 4 weeks, base 5 will be a lot better. And then I don't know if Prophet's going to make it, Miracle J. All they need is one other guy to replace him.
Right.
And, you know, and then that base could be thriving. And then who knows if Aaron Luna wants to stay or still wants to go, depends. You know, base 3 might be splitting into 2 bases, depends. You know, this and that. And now we see base Vegas and whatever. So, you know, guys getting involved in this movement in that way, like, man, that's invaluable. And then you got to have your production. You got to make money. You got to have a handle on your money. You sell cars, right?
Right.
And how dependent is that on the auto dealership bringing in a customer? And do you find that you're always busy or are you sitting around mostly?
I'm busy.
You are busy.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, the busier you are, do you make more money?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like being busy there.
Yeah.
So is it making you enough money?
It is, yeah. The only thing is, just outside forces, man. Like creditors fucking tapping into my accounts. Like, that's what I'm dealing with right now.
You're paying off credit cards or you're getting hacked?
Like, my wages were being garnished by these creditors were meeting like a lawsuit. And then they were somehow going into my bank account grabbing money. Oh, it was Wells Fargo. I mean, they're known for being shady, you know what I mean? But
so is that changing or is it at least paying off the credit?
Yeah, for sure.
So the credit debt is being paid off.
Yeah.
And okay. So how much longer do you think until that's handled?
And I want to say at least a couple more months. But I mean, that's something I was dealing with recently when I started making Cause I'm like right now, like I'm one of like the 1% of the dealership. Like I'm making like all the sales there.
Yeah.
But as that's happening, now I'm getting like this new outside force, like, you know what I mean? But before I didn't have that. It was very interesting. That's kind of like, it's like a new obstacle.
Yeah.
As I'm getting there, it's like, well, here's an obstacle for you, motherfucker.
That's so interesting. Kingpin and Powerhouse are on right now. I was just giving all those examples there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they feel the same way.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, that's why, I mean, because of the teachings, I'm able to fucking just say, like, keep moving up and not being stopped by anything on the outside.
Sounds like you're moving up because it sounds like in a few months when that's handled, then you'll be able to breathe. It's like wearing weights on your wrists and ankles, and then you take them off, and you jump so high.
Yeah.
You know, if it is just a few months to handle the credit stuff,
Yeah.
then that's great, man. And then your credit repairs, and then yeah, so you're looking for someone else to be your assistant there. How's it looking there? How's it feel? How long you guys been in the base together?
3 months.
Can't really hear what Cruz is saying.
It's 3 months, September, October. Yeah, I think September. Like, I want to say like 2 months with everybody.
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months with everybody.
Right on. Okay, cool. So what else do you think is going to change when you go back?
Well, I think it's still like, how would I say? We're still figuring everything out. Like, okay, what are we gonna do? How can we work with each other? How can we, use everybody's talents, everybody's abilities, strengths to come together and really create something good. That's really where it's at right now. Like,
You're still figuring that out.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's like a new awareness.
What's yours?
That came in. Yeah.
That's a new awareness since you've been here.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like recently, like literally before I came here, like we were just.
So what's changed since you've been here? Anything about what's going to be different when you go back?
And then I want to say just implementing the IMC. How would you say that in there, like not that everybody's not obviously, but it's like it's just like that, like discipline.
The discipline. What kind of discipline? Like in what area?
Having a schedule, like
they don't have a schedule.
Well, I'm sure they do, but maybe they don't. That's the thing. We don't know. So that's right
do they
there.
Have wake up time.
That's a good question. I don't know if they have any good.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Like,
that's where it's going to be hard to exert any discipline because you don't have an assistant. It's just going to be you against all them.
Yeah.
Unless one of them becomes an officer.
Yeah, that's very true.
Or sees that they want to become an officer. So I would immediately start talking which of you want to be an officer. Obviously, Zoti's massively overweight. He doesn't need to be small and thin, but it's literally effortless. The way that AZD gave the reference in Return of the Beast of what to study. And I'm reading that guy's audiobooks, and it literally, that's why fat is just dripping off of me, even though I am eating more fat than before. That I counted my macros, even though he doesn't count his macros anymore, AZD doesn't. And I'm missing my fats every day. But I'm getting leaner. And it's not that difficult if you do it in the right way, in the right order. It'd be like people who eat first and then work out versus people who work out and then eat.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing the same activity, but doing it in the right order changes the effect.
Right. More energy, right?
Well, what do you think? If you ate a big meal right before working out versus eating a big meal right after working out, what's going to make you better in the long run? Are you going to grow more one way or the other, or does it make any difference, do you think?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It does make a difference. Well, that's with the biohacking and all that stuff. That it's just, man.
Yeah.
Just changing up orders and things. Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So Zoti's, tattoo addicts. I mean, the guy's kind of shy in getting involved, but I guess he's in a base now, and it's just, as you guys, it'll be exciting. You'll be an officer meeting today, I'm sure, and it'll be good.
Yeah, cool. And even that right there is like having everybody to be involved, like who wants to be involved is like, hey, like if you ever wanted to be involved right now is a perfect fucking time because you have the opportunity.
You're in Fullerton, right?
Anaheim. It's close by, like 10 minutes.
Is there nightlife in Anaheim?
There is, yeah.
Do you guys use that? Is there local like walking distance, or do you have to drive somewhere?
There's walking distance, but we haven't been to those. We've mainly been to like the ones that we've been before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right on. And you guys rent, obviously.
Yeah.
And how long is the lease for?
Till December.
And
it's December coming up.
Right on. Who's all on the lease? The name?
Me and Armando.
Cool.
Yeah.
And this 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, or what?
No, it's like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Is it going to be all 4 of you in there indefinitely in those 3 bedrooms? Or where's the 4th guy stay?
That's Zolti. He stays in the living room like here.
You're okay with that for 12 more months?
I mean, if he's okay with it, then he's
because he pays the lease rent, I assume.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's up to your standards of things, then whatever. Cool. So that's a base. That's base 6, you know, and you guys are starting at the bottom. Now you're here, and you know, right on. Okay. Anything else to be said? Are there any questions or comments about bases? I saw your comment about it was hard to hear. Hopefully it got better when I turned the mic. So that's so cool that the Crusade are checking in on their investment. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know they weren't invited, but they both, I mean, specifically invited, but they both show up on their own accord. That's dope. Holly Boo, what's up, Holly Boo? Holly Boo Boo Boo. Boo Boo. Okay, any comments here? You have any questions about anything?
Oh man. I like how you said that there has to be another officer, because I could see like the dynamics of that. Yeah.
It's like having a 1-parent household.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They argue with you, but if you have 2 parents, then you can have this hard, soft kind of effect. And not a household like you guys are living together, but just having mom and dad around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Right. Yes, sir. Okay. I don't see any questions. There's a bunch of people that were watching throughout this on the stream, so appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys on the YouTubes, and you can learn to sign up on what it looks like. You can go to the link. There's a link somewhere on the description or in the bio or whatever, and see how to train with AZD. It's easy. It's like $3 a day, $97 a month. You get all the recordings, which 100 recordings, so it's a lot. The value is pennies per lecture. If you actually want to study it, it'll change your life, as it has changed my life. Man, my life is my DHV, and I don't have to try anything for my women. I just live, and I have 3 women. I have others on the side, and I'm talking to new women all the time, and everything. There's no problems. It's, you know, because it works. It just works. You gotta get involved to unpack the teachings of why it works. Any books you recommend? That's way too general. You know, any money you spend on a book, I think, should get into AZD's class, and then I'd be happy to recommend books to you in our orientation call. When you sign up for the AZD Mastermind University, which is the link in the bio, then we have an orientation call for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I'll get to know about you, and then I can definitely recommend books. But, you know, I've read a lot, and AZD has recommended a lot that I've read. And to recommend you one book, I don't know where you are in your journey. So I recommend sign up. It's worth a month to any man alive over 18. If you're under 18, get a parent's consent. $100 will change your life. Okay? Praise the Lord. Jay Guru Dev. Yes, sir.